Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
Tonight, Front Page Challenge welcomes the outspoken Negro leader, Malcolm X.
I don't in any way encourage black people to go out and initiate acts of aggression indiscriminately against whites. But I do believe that the black man in the United States and any human being, anywhere, is well within his right to do whatever is necessary, by any means necessary, to protect his life and property, especially in a country where the federal government itself has proven that it is either unable or unwilling to protect the lives and property of those human beings.
Following through on his threats, Donald Trump vetoed a $740 billion annual defense policy bill, which had passed both houses of Congress with a bipartisan majority. The U.S. president made a series of vague objections in a letter to the House, saying the bill fails to include critical national security measures and to respect our veterans and our military's history. He also called it a gift to Russia and China. The rejection represents Trump's biggest break yet with the Republican-led Senate, which says the bill will actually help deter Chinese and Russian aggression. The move sparked stern condemnation in Washington, with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi calling it an act of staggering recklessness, while Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell openly urged lawmakers to bypass Trump's veto. The House and the Senate are set to meet on Monday and Tuesday respectively, and are widely expected to garner the two-thirds majority needed to override the president. The bill, which includes a 3% pay rise for U.S. troops, has been passed every year with wide bipartisan support for the past 6 decades. But Donald Trump has looked intent on sowing chaos during his final days in the Oval Office. On Tuesday, he unexpectedly threatened to reject a $900 billion COVID-19 relief package, potentially delaying crucial financial aid for millions of Americans.
So joining me now is Tulsi Gabbard, Congresswoman from Hawaii. She is one of 2 House Democrats who broke with their party and voted against the stimulus bill, and she joins us now. Congresswoman, great to have you here tonight. Thank you for being here. So why did you vote against the bill?
Because this bill was a slap in the face to the American people. People who are sitting in their cars waiting in line for hours to get free food from the food bank, people who've been without jobs for months, people who are concerned about getting evicted from their apartments or their homes because they haven't been able to pay their rent. To say that it's okay to give hundreds of billions of dollars to corporate special interests, to foreign countries, to the military-industrial complex, but to the American people who are struggling and suffering and who need help the most, you get $600. It's an absolute insult, and the American people deserve better.
You know, on the defense bill, as I said, there is $7 billion in there. We heard from General Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, that he was very concerned about the Chinese buildup of the Navy. He feels that we are unprepared in terms of our naval ships, and he wants to put that money towards that. Do you think that that is a wise idea? And how ready do you think we are, given your own experience and your service in Iraq?
Well, that's a very big topic about our defense priorities, and whether you look at the big, massive spending bill that I voted against a couple of nights ago, that's one area where we should be asking questions about how our taxpayer dollars being used in a responsible way that best serves the emergency that we are facing. I think you're also talking about this National Defense Authorization Act. I've actually voted against this bill when it came to the House floor for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is a massive bloated spending bill. It heightens up the new Cold War we're in with increasing tensions between the United States and Russia and China, really with serious consequences. We're talking about nuclear armed nations here, and we've got to focus on how we can best de-escalate those tensions. But it also includes a provision in there that ties this president or any president's hands as they're trying to bring our troops home from Afghanistan. So, I know Trump vetoed this bill earlier today, and one of the main reasons he did so was because of this provision, Section 230, right? This thing that has to do with giving big tech companies like Google and Facebook and Amazon total legal immunity. And the reason why he's taken a stand on this, and I support his position on this, is because Congress has failed to act in making sure that the American people have a fair and free opportunity to the public square, and to make sure that these tech companies that are censoring people, that are choosing whose voices are heard and whose aren't, taking sides in political elections, that they are not immune from lawsuits. And so I think it's a critical thing to hold Congress's feet to the fire, because I've introduced legislation to fix Section 230. Other people have as well. They have failed to take action, and the American people deserve to know that these big corporations don't have greater influence over their representatives in Congress than the American people do, which is unfortunately the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. Just quickly before I let you go, I know that you spoke out about the fact that some members of Congress, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was showing off her vaccination. She did a cute Instagram video of, the whole thing, and it sort of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. What do you want to say about that tonight?
Look, I think of people like my aunt, who is, she's 65 years old. She has a severe underlying health condition that's compromised her immune system. She has basically been imprisoned in her home because she knows that if she goes out, she faces a very real danger of dying if she catches COVID. It is people like my aunt, it is the elderly, the most vulnerable, who should be getting this vaccine first, right alongside our first responders and high-risk healthcare workers, because this is really a matter of life and death for them. For others, if my colleagues, I've called on them, if members of Congress, if you are healthy, if you are under the age of 65, join me in refusing to get the vaccine until our seniors and elderly Americans are able to do so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you on that. Congresswoman, great to have you here tonight. Thank you very much. Tulsi Gabbard.
Great seeing you.
Throughout the summer, Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault. And increased the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation. and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
Tonight, breaking news, a massive Christmas explosion in Nashville just before dawn, the moment the city was jolted by the blast. Windows shattered, cell phone and internet service knocked out, a civil emergency and curfew now in effect. The late-breaking details. America on edge. Time is running out for millions desperate for help, just hours before so many could lose unemployment benefits. Will President Trump sign the bill freeing up funds? Strict new travel rules as COVID cases skyrocket. More than 5 million just this month. New restrictions in place for anyone flying from the UK to the US. But is it too little, too late? Healthcare heroes, the frontline workers away from their own families on Christmas.
I think it's really hard.
The stories of their sacrifices this holiday season. And streaming the big screen, the Christmas blockbuster rolling out in theaters and online. Is this the future of Hollywood?
I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't fucking okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?